Hello, beautiful strangers, and welcome back to another episode of Myth. When last we left off, oh man, I think there's a little bit too much for me to summarize that quickly. Oh man, what the whole reveal of about Uni, Odin's thing. The locker, which we are looking at the words locker at the bottom of the screen. Kiki's mind being broken. The whole thing going on with the cult type religious organization. The desiring of the notebook. Didi being missing. There's just a whole lot of stuff that went on last episode. And, let's just get back into it, shall we? 4:34 a.m. in the blue locker room. One locker stood out among those. It was crimson. It held what was once the Didi. I do like that they put censor on that, even though this is technically the adult version, but, gore's a thing. I think, I don't know the rules for gore. Most of the stuff that I've played very few things that actually censor gore in the Japanese version. I remember that being a thing in the Resi 2 remake, I believe. They degorified it for the Japanese release or something like that. I don't really remember. I know that excess gore is, at least excess human gore, is supposed to be censored, at least in some way. Same thing with, sexual organs. Yuri, I'll clean this up. You should wait in the break room. I felt a disturbance in the air. I wasn't sure whether that was the result of Yuri's footsteps or Kiki sobbing by the entrance. I didn't know. I couldn't take my mind or my eyes off that corpse. I found a bag and began to stuff the hunks of flesh inside of it. I folded her legs up, shoved her still twitching organs inside, snapped her fingers and bones, and put all of those things inside of the bag. Riri-san gazed at me in the garbage. She was nothing but a head now. Seeing her lifeless pupils made me recall a swallowtail butterfly specimen. The many forms of death. A weak girl's death, an elderly, senile person's death, a soldier's death on the battlefield. The graphic end result of those deaths are often omitted in entertainment, but that wasn't the case here. Anyway, it was heavy. So, what? I muttered to myself as I shouldered that bag. Everyone dies. I wasn't speaking to anyone in particular. So, phew. What? I wasn't even sure what I was trying to say. So, what? All I could do was spit out those words of disgust from the depths of my dry throat. What? Wasn't this always going to be the case, though? Didn't I know that? This was inevitable. No one was at fault. It was Myth's fault. Myth was at fault here. I wasn't right. It was Myth's fault that this is happening to me. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm normal. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. Myth was at fault. So, I dug a hole over and over and over and over and over and over. I dug over and over and over and over and over and over. I dug. I'm not a... Maybe... Just maybe I'm at... No. Myth is... No. Myth's natural phenomena trying to come to grips with someone's death. No. So cold-blooded. Me? No. A corpse. I normally dislike digging. No. Can a corpse really be that easily disposed of? I'm not going mad despite the circumstances. Am I normal? No. Was I abnormal? Abnormal? No. How about as a human being? This Riri-san's corpse. No. No. That couldn't be right. Is what's in the bag a toy? The feeling of reality from the weight. Oh, actually, the feeling of reality from Nidhi's head was, I should be too loud. Oh well, I tried. Not very hard, but I tried. I had to rid myself of any lingering emotions. I didn't minimize a thing. You should still be able to read it if you go back and pause. You should. Then, I headed home. I saw someone's figure under the streetlights. They almost seemed like a mirage to me, the faint sunlight from the rising sun cast down upon them. Have you calmed down? The crazy person with tears in their eyes and a smile on their face just ignored me. In reality, she was the most sane among us. You see, I wanted to rid myself of those emotions, so I decided to detail what her corpse looked like. A straight line across her neck, a giant, almost artistic hole where her head once was. It wasn't hard to imagine how that result was produced. I had already been sick of seeing those things. I'd gone mad, and her own madness was but a representation of that ethereal spectacle. I knew that much just from reading about what happened during the last time. So it was easy to imagine how that happened. That's why I had no particular interest in that. Are you okay? But I couldn't help myself from asking her that question. I wanted to know the reason behind that madness, though, because even I didn't understand. Was she still on edge? Or just laughing as she reminisced about Riri? I had no means of knowing the truth. Was I too naive? It almost seemed like she was telling me some kind of funny story. That was the kind of expression she had on her face. I knew that this day would come. I really did. But I still couldn't endure it. It was though her own wounds were laughing alongside her. Reality surpassed your imagination. That's all there is to it. I've had it happen before as well. Reality? I guess so. Kiki giggled once again, as though she'd seen through everything. Being unable to die is the most unpleasant thing in the world. She traced her finger along those wounds. It was fascinating, but at the same time, almost seemed self-deprecating. But you were able to recover from this, even bearing these wounds. You're strong. You can recover from this as well. Really? Did I truly believe that? It's impossible. The tone of her voice was so far removed from the one she usually had. Even if Didi died this time around? Yeah. Even if Didi dies next time? Someone will have to be sacrificed so long as we continue to stand against myth. I can't stand it. I just want to be with Didi. I'll continue to search for a particular fate. Once I find one I can find totally acceptable. To love, to forgive, to compromise. To find some peace. Even if it only lasts for a brief moment. Even if that's fake. I still think that's what I need to do. She muttered to herself, her eyes vacant as she gazed up at the sky. Her answer was for her to abandon her will. It was total and utter admittance of defeat on her part. She still wanted to find false peace, even after accepting myth. But I don't run away. I was filled with an indescribable rage. I'm not running away. Thinking about it, this is a simple problem. Nothing bad will happen if we don't resist. So even if the resulting happiness is fake, it's still happiness. Right? What I'm saying makes sense, right? I'm not wrong, right? It was like I could hear her saying that to me. You're wrong. So we should compromise and do nothing just so we can be happy? That's so stupid. That's really dumb. Desires are subjective. You'll never be happy if you don't think you're happy. There is no such thing as an objective desire. There is. That's what I wish for. A subjective viewpoint to desire objective happiness. Kiki, what was the point of trying so hard this entire time? You're right that you have your own subjective viewpoint, but that's not all. Didi is there too. Don't you have a reason to return to your home? Don't you have friends and a future of your own? Let me say this once again. By accepting myth, you're just running away. You're abandoning not only your own world, but Didi and your happiness with everyone else there. All you're doing is running away. Her eyes were wet with tears. She almost seemed to be looking for something to cling to. All she did was glare at me, as though trying to get something through to me. Then, finally, Tanabe-san is strong. That's why you can think like that. It seemed like her madness finally vanished. Like she had reached some philosophical enlightenment. The look she had in her eyes suggested she had come to some conclusion. As she gently smiled at me, I have my own way of fighting back. Huh? is to wait. That's why I'll... She turned her back to me. I could no longer see her face. It felt like I wouldn't ever again. That was a premonition I had. Wait. My words caught in my throat, though. All I had to do was say, wait. Then I'd be able to keep her here. Or, at the very least, that'd increase my chances of doing so. Chances. What chances? To lead her in the right direction? Was that truly the right choice? Did she possess a will firm enough, or did she possess a firm will to exist as a human? Was that really so wrong? And was that evident in her words and her very eyes? Wait. I wasn't sure, but you're going to... I couldn't help myself from calling out to her. Just end up cooperating with us again, and feeling the same things once again. Isn't that pointless? Isn't that just a waste of time? Kiki's retreating figure almost seemed to be wrapped in a mirage. Kiki, look beyond this despair. Look at the final destination we seek. Happiness is waiting for us there. Just believe in that. Trust me. And trust yourself. She didn't turn around, though. I continued. I'm not gonna compromise. That's why you won't experience the kind of peace you desire. Shouting like that made me aware of the seams that existed deep within my heart. Why did I want to know the reason behind her madness? Perhaps I just wanted her to reject my very self. Kiki. She never turned around, though. The surroundings were once again quiet. Mito, Kiki is... I just passed by her. Neither of us spoke up after that. Yuri might have sensed it. She might have known the conclusion that Kiki reached. I buried the corpse in a nearby forest. I buried her pretty deep, so no one should notice. I washed away all the blood and such in the locker room, too. The smell should probably fade away by morning. We'll be fine. I sat on the couch after I explained everything to Yuri. I heard someone giggling beside me. Yuni Ichi was lying down on the couch. What's so funny? Nothing. She couldn't stop giggling, though. Get out of here. Oh? Why? Yuri, did you contact my mom and dad? I ignored Odin as I asked Yuri that. I did. I just said you were being selfish and they were all right with it. Thanks. I glared at Odin. So there you have it. Yuri will take you back home. And if I refuse, I'll probably lose my cool. I'm kind of running out of patience. If you do refuse, I'll beat your body against the floor, rip your nails out, pull your limbs off, cut up your arms and make you suffer like we have. That seems like the only thing I could possibly do now that I'm at my breaking point. I promise you I'll do that. That's funny. Yuri, I'll leave the rest to you. I'm going to check out this video. All right. Yuri picked up Odin. Seeing Yuri put a blanket around her was unpleasant. As the sounds of her footsteps faded away, it made me realize that things were finally settling down. I leaned against the couch. My phone was in my pocket. I reflexively removed it. November 17th, 2002, Friday, 5:15 a.m. It was still early morning. I wasn't tired, just fatigued. What is that wallpaper? It looks like somebody from about the nose-ish down to the upper chest. Or is that just below the clavicle? I wasn't tired, just fatigued. I wanted the couch to consume my entire being. Taname-san is strong. Damn it. Kiki's thoughts. Isn't all of that actually human? And what about me? What about my thoughts? Have I become stronger at a glance, but colder? The more I've become accustomed to myth? Is that it? Or not? When you eat a steak, I muttered to myself, are you foolish enough to ever imagine the cow being slaughtered? I tried to justify my actions. What's more important? Some more in a far-off country, or a date with your girlfriend? The date, right? It was as though I was searching for an equilibrium in this world, as though I were confirming that equilibrium. I'm sane. As though I were shaking away any thoughts I might have had. I had a TV that looked exactly like that for a very long time. As I leaned towards the VCR and turned it on, I had to calm down. The best prescription for that was to find a solution to our problems. The screen didn't change after I pressed the play button, though. The tape couldn't have been damaged, could it? I fast-forwarded. A grainy image began to play after a bit. We will watch the tape next time. How's that for a bit of a cliffhanger for you? Yeah, next time we're going to watch the tape after that somber episode, I think. Quite sad. Man, tape next time. And this tape was important enough for Riri to sacrifice herself. Which means that, well, I'm guessing, we're hoping really, that the information contained on the tape is beneficial in some way, shape, or form. But I guess we'll find that out next time. And I hope to see you all there.